morning for us when I'm filming this video in our guest bedroom slash nursery. Um, Good morning, mister. Good morning. How on earth you been walking in your sleep, man? Let me move this mobile out of the way so I can pick him up. Give me this. You cannot eat the blanket, mister. You cannot eat the blanket. He said, yes, I can, mommy. No, him can't eat the blanket. What you got? What you doing, Papa? You're sitting up with the help of the mommy legs. Is the Papa sitting up? See, he's trying to eat everything that comes his way. Papa can't. What the feta man's doing? Oh. See, eating that hand. That's when I know you're hungry. So let's put your bib on. Whoa, Mr. Handsome. It's a Mr. Handsome man. It's the Hunger Man's now? Yes. There you go. There you go. Hey y'all, so people are always asking me, oh, why do you always have a bib? He's not eating, why does he always have a bib? This is why my papa always, look at the camera, papa. Don't smile at the mommies. This is why he always has a bib on. Because milkies can come up anytime, any place, and papa does not care. So that's why he always has a bib on. Because if you have a baby, you know. So I woke up this morning with the idea that I do have a couple friends, I say four friends who are in their last trimester of pregnancy, and two of them are first-time moms, and then the other two have had a couple children already. So I got the idea for the new moms to be of what do you need for a baby, before the baby comes, because I scoured, the internet, mom Facebook groups, like I looked for information wherever it could come on what do I need for this baby. I'm used to just being my husband and I, and what do I need to survive not only the first month for me, the postpartum care, but also what do I need for him. So the first thing that we started getting were, before we even knew his gender, we got diapers, because like those are universal, boy or girl, everybody, everybody's gonna need diapers. So diapers and wipes we got, before he came, we got all the way up until size 3, so newborn 1, 2, and 3. I didn't even know, the size of diapers. Okay, newborn in 1 through 6 apparently. So that was news to me. So we got the first 4 sizes of diapers, and we had a stockpile like as tall as myself. I'm 5'4", so a stockpile 5 feet high. And then wipes, we got all that through Amazon, through the registry, because they'll give either 10% off or 15% off depending on how much on your registry you complete. So that was one thing. And then clothing. We kind of blundered the clothing issue just because we are in northern Italy. So getting clothes, we had to, remember, we're not in Florida anymore. So we need long sleeves, coats, because it snows as early as, it's October 30th or something. We need to have winter clothes already because it's snowing in the mountains already. So that was one thing. We got way too many short sleeve onesies for this little guy, and that ordering from Amazon, because the BX, or the malls that we have here, I guess we could shop on the economy and see what they have, because Europe loves H&M Baby, and we got a lot of used clothes from like Garage Sale, Facebook Marketplace. And you have to realize babies grow so fast that most of the times when we were getting used stuff, they still had tags on them, and no one's gonna sell stuff with like poop stains and all that stuff. So make sure I look through it before I gave them my money and all that. But make sure when the season that your baby is born in and the subsequent seasons after, that you get the appropriate clothing. So making sure that you have long sleeve in the right 3 to 6 months, and not, like we had, it's October, we have long sleeve 9 to 12 months. By the time he's 9 to 12 months, it's gonna be the heat of summer, and Italy gets super hot as well. So that, that wouldn't be the appropriate clothing for him. So making sure you get the appropriate clothing is one thing. And, create a timeline, right? Your baby's he's born in August. Bless you, Papa. I think I gave him my cold. But it is normal, like I said, for babies to sneeze and hiccup, like, randomly. So, we'll see. He's been eating and, he has wet diapers and all that stuff, so I don't think anything of it. But, what else? And then I showed in another video that we have diaper changing stations. We have some in his room, our bedroom, and then we put the one in the living room. Just brought it back in here because it didn't seem, I don't know, we normally spend most of our time in either the bedrooms, and yes, we're in the living room so, but I don't mind getting up from the couch and coming and bring him in here versus changing him right in the living room, because when we first brought him home, the first couple weeks, he was peeing everywhere. And so I was like, you're not about to get this pee on my good sofas and all that stuff. So we just brought you to the changing table so we could like Clorox it down if he had an accident. But now at 2.5 months, he's pretty good about holding it in, which is we're thankful for, because we got a lot of accidents with that. And some people will tell you to get it's called a PPTP, and it's like a little cone thing that you put over their private parts for boys. You put over their private parts so they don't give you a shower. And you have to realize, I think it's a good concept. It's a good theory to have, but they move so much and so randomly and sporadically, it's not staying on. So A for effort, I say, with the PPTP, but otherwise it's like, yeah. No, it's not feasible. It's not gonna work. So diapers, wipes, clothes, changing stations, breastfeeding, that's another thing. If you are going to breastfeed, kudos to you. It does take a lot of commitment. Be prepared for that commitment. A lot of us, I would say a lot of people, myself included, are so worried about labor and delivery and the end of pregnancy that we forget that you have to bring these humans home and feed them. So even if you are planning to breastfeed, one of John's friends, she gave me the great advice of just have a can of formula. Even when I was so adamant I'm exclusively breastfeeding, he's not eating anything but golden breast milk, I still went and got the can of formula, because just in case your milk doesn't come, he's gonna be, your kid's gonna be starving and your milk hasn't come yet. Still keep, latching with them, but just in case, even if you never use that can of formula, just sits and expires in the darn cabinet, make sure you have it on hand, because 3 a.m. late nights, you just never know how your breastfeeding journey is gonna go. And that doesn't mean just because you have the can of formula that you give up easy like I did. Don't be like me and, well, we have a can of formula, John, hey, don't be like that. Actually stick with it, and power through those late nights. Don't cave in. So having just an extra can of formula, even if you don't even, plan to use it. I didn't plan to use it, and 2.5 months later, he's pretty much a formula-fed baby at this point at 2.5 months. So that was a great tip that she gave me. And what else can I say? I should have, made a list or something. I'm just going off the fly. So breastfeeding, and then making sure you don't bring your hospital pump, your breastfeeding pump to the hospital. They have hospital grade pumps for a reason, because they're located in the hospital. Make sure when you get home, before you go to the hospital, make sure you are well rehearsed and well versed in your your pump. and make sure you know this connects to this. I gotta plug this in if it's a battery operated one, or you can take it off the charger. Make sure you know your breast pump, because the last thing you want to do, the last place you want to be is trying to give milk to your baby and you don't know, and you're fidgeting with the pump and you have a screaming newborn. So I didn't do that. I just looked at the pack. I was like, oh, breastfeeding pump's here, and I put it in the corner. And by the time it was 2 weeks old, went from exclusively breastfeeding to exclusively pumping to now formula. So I think he has spitting up. He is tired too. He got a lot going on, Papa. Yes. You talking to the mommies? Yeah, they're talking. He has hiccups now too. So, knowing your breast pump before you go into labor and delivery, and also by the last 2 weeks, you just never know when you're gonna go into labor, or even if you need to be induced. So make sure you have everything set up where it's supposed to be before you go into the hospital. I'm way too prepared in that I had, yes, thank you. I was way too prepared in that I had everything set up by like month 7. I was staying at home working on my master's while being pregnant with him. So I had ample time to just be around the house and do whatever. So making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be before you're like, oh my God, my water just broke, I gotta go. And then you come home to a house that has nothing prepared for them, because you're gonna be in a daze when you get home from the hospital. Even my delivery was super easy, and I still came home like groggy and just, what is life? The world is turned upside down for the first month. And even I have some friends who, have already delivered, and they're like, yeah, I'm still trying to get it together at 3-4 months old in postpartum. So that's another thing. When I was pregnant, I thought, oh my gosh, we have like 10, 11 blankets. That's way too much. Babies, you see, I have diaper, a burp cloth on him. I have another one right behind me. Like, you can never have too many burp cloths, bibs, blankets, no matter, in Florida or not, because I'll have one to wipe his throw up with, another one to swaddle him, and then let's say I change him on another one because I don't like his butt or lower back being on like a cold changing pad too. So you can never have enough blankets and anything like that to help you, because trust me, that makes for a lot of laundry as well. I thought everyone was kidding when they said newborns have a lot of laundry, because you got to realize, yes, he's telling y'all a lot of laundry. It's socks, pants, onesies, bibs, all the different blankets you have. Like, it's a lot of stuff. Another thing is too, I know I have the Harry Potter castle behind me, and his theme is Harry Potter. If I were to turn the camera around, you would see like the different trinkets and stuff we have. I'll probably include it in this. But don't get too caught up in the nursery that you spend your money there, because the real stuff would be their gadgets. So like the night lights we use every night, because you don't want to be turning on the main light at 3 a.m. That's going to wake him and that's going to get his circadian rhythm, that daytime, nighttime flow, that's going to get them off balance. And it's going to make your sleeping journey with them 10 times harder, because you're going to confuse them, because they don't even have it down pat yet. So that was another thing. Is putting your money where it needs to be, not on the designer. I mean, if you have it, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just saying what's more logical in the end is making, yep, he's tired. Putting your money where it needs to go mostly. So the night lights, the humidifiers, the sound machines, I'm looking at my sound machine in the box still. I have not used it yet. But we just got a humidifier from his great uncles, but his great uncle and aunt, my aunt and uncle, they just sent it over from the States. So we're gonna hook that bad boy up and see what it's about soon. But I think I've covered a lot. And the thing that I didn't even think of when I was pregnant was, even if you are, again, wanting to exclusively breastfeed, still have bottles. If you're out, you don't know how you're going to be exclusively breastfeeding until you have the hungry baby and you're out in public. If you are the type to pull your shirt up and, you know, breastfeed your baby, I thought I was going to be that person, and it turned out that I am not that person. You know, I'm very confident in... Yes, Papa, tell him. I'm in such an extrovert, you know, I can get out and do whatever. I'm great at public speaking, all that stuff. However, when it came to breastfeeding out in public, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I wasn't looking for the bathroom, but I was like, I gotta go back to my car and breastfeed. And other people weren't understanding that because they didn't have kids yet, but I'm like, it's something with a new mom, like the new mom complex. So if you want to, like I said, pump beforehand and taking the bottle out, that's something that an exclusively breastfed baby would need. Our bottles, the bottle cleaners, like the brushes and all that stuff. So that is another thing, is bottles, drying racks. You know, there's baby products for pretty much everything that you need. And we went OD with everything that we needed or didn't need. And now I find myself selling like 15 or 20 different things on garage sale in the, you know, community, the military community, because we just didn't need it, we didn't use it, or he didn't take to it. I know we had 2 rockers that we ended up getting. He hated one of them and he would fall asleep so quick in the other. So it really is seeing what they like as well. So I think that's all for this video. I'm probably gonna do a part 2 when I, you know, rewatch this and be like, oh, you definitely forgot one of the main things. So yeah, that's definitely gonna be a part 2. Bye. Say bye, Papa. Say bye to the peoples.